It's true, the saying that we turn into our own mother when we become a parent. I find I'm even speaking some phrases in the broken English that my Japanese-born mother had. My twin sons are potty training now, and I noticed that I asked them, "You got pee-pee coming?" Just like my mom used to ask us. I can even remember the last time my mom asked me, "You got pee-pee coming?" before we were to go to the grocery store. She would say this to make sure we went before leaving the house. I promptly told her, "Mom, I'm 25 years old. I think I can handle that on my own." Another phrase she would tell me when I started dating was her way of telling me not to have premarital sex and get pregnant. She would say, "You don't catchy baby." I once knew I'd get a rise out of her when in my 20s I told her that if I didn't get married by the time I turned 30, then I was just going to catchy baby anyway. She cried, "Oh no." My mother was an Issei, and that's Japanese for first generation, being born in Japan. She had a tough life after marrying my American GI father and was brought to the United States with about as much command of the English language as I have with my 2 years of Spanish in high school. She had 3 children, one after the other, in the first 3 years of marriage, and then I came 3 years later. We moved to an army post in Germany when I was 2 and lived there for 3 years, and then came back to the US and settled in California by the time I was 6. She took care of the family finances, did all of the shopping with us in tow, which, since she never knew how to drive, she had to walk with the 4 of us to and from the stores. I have a hard time taking my twins shopping, and they have those carts now that's shaped like cars that's supposed to keep them occupied. During the day, not only did my mom take care of us 4, she also took care of a mentally challenged 7-year-old girl for a single mother who worked during the day. My mom also kept house and cooked dinner. Then at night, when my father came home from work, she went to work waitressing at a Japanese restaurant to help make ends meet. I used to think that she was a weak person because she complained so much, but as I became an adult, I realized that she was a very strong person, and who wouldn't complain with all that she had to do? I would like to teach my boys about their maternal grandmother, whom they never had a chance to meet. Although she never got to see the birth of my boys, I've come to know that she was instrumental in their existence. My mother ended up getting stomach cancer and surprised all of the doctors with her resilience in her late 70s. They took out a tumor the size of a baseball, told her she had stage 3 cancer, and did not feel she could live through any chemo treatment. It eventually spread through her esophagus, but she lived another 2 years. I was privileged to be able to live with my sister in California to take care of my mom in her last 4 months of life while my husband still lived in St. Louis. She saw how I cared for her, and she knew how long I was trying for children of my own. For 13 years, 13 married years, and 2 miscarriages, we tried to figure out why I couldn't have children, and had finally discovered that I had PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and was starting the metformin to see if that would work. Odds were still low since I was already in my 40s. In the last week of my mother's life, she told me how much she appreciated me being there for her and taking care of her. She said that someday I would make a good mother. She said she wished with all her heart that I could catch a baby, and she was saying prayers for me. It was very comforting for me to hear this, since I dealt with so many naysayers telling me to basically give up on my dreams of being a mom. Then one day, close to the end, she asked me if she was dying. Before, when she asked this, I always said that one could not really know what the will to live could do to change things, that being positive is very powerful. But now I even knew that her body was not going to hang on much longer, and maybe she needed to hear that it was okay to let go, to set her mind at ease. So I nodded my head and told her that she could go, that we would be okay. Then somewhere in that conversation, I asked her to see what she could do when she got to heaven to help me catch a baby. She smiled at me and said, "I will try." It was 2 more years before my dreams of having children would come true. Through IVF and God's blessing, I was pregnant with healthy twin boys. Shortly after they were born, my sister was still visiting, and we decided to see a psychic medium who we heard was real good. He came to my house and immediately told us not to feed him any information that he doesn't directly ask us, and not to give us more information than what is asked. As he entered my house, he asked if I recently had any children. He then saw I had 2 babies. He asked if I had been trying for a while to have children. I replied yes. He then asked if I had lost any children in the past. I said that I had. He asked if there were 2 of them, and I said yes. He proceeded to tell me that these boys were them, the ones that I had lost. He said that God brought them back to me. Then he asked if I had lost an older woman dear to me, because he is sensing a woman trying to tell him something. I said it was my mother. He said that she was telling him that she helped bring my boys to me. So that is how I've come to know that my mom was instrumental in their existence. And I cannot wait for the day that I can relay all of this to my boys, who will never have a chance on earth to meet their maternal grandmother. My mom helped me to realize my lifelong dream, and I will tell my boys to not give up on their dreams, because God and my mom are listening.